before we get into specifics on check engine lights, let's go over just a brief overview of check engine lights and why they come on. Check engine lights can come on for a multitude of reasons. The engine. This is a common misconception that people have in regards to check engine lights, and they go to places like auto.
But understand something, that when they do that, that is not a diagnosis of your vehicle. That is an idea of a direction to go in, and there's other ways to identify specifically how you do that. Now, keep in mind, this is why professionals have jobs and why technicians exist, because they diagnose the vehicle to ensure they're getting drilled down to the most finite ability of theirs to make sure they're diagnosing the car properly. So, in this particular instance, we're going to be using our OBD11 software, which is a device that is a scan tool for VW and Audi specifically, but it uses an Android platform. So we're going to scan the fault codes in our engine and just look at that briefly to see what that looks like. Okay, so with our OBD11 software, we're going to go into our scan. Now this obviously has a couple different options. You can scan all the control modules, or in this case, we're just going to go into the control unit for the engine itself and see what the fault codes are for that specific control module. That's going to give you an idea of why the check engine light came on in the first place. Alright, so as we go into our engine control module, we are then going to go into the fault section. Now as we take a look here, we have two different fault codes, a cylinder 1 misfire detected, and then ignition coil A secondary circuit. That is going to lead towards something related to the cylinder 1 ignition coil. Now we also have a video that talks about diagnosing a misfire, which I'll link to, and you can check that out in more detail. But let's back up for a second just to get an idea of specifically what's going on. When we go into here, if we take a look at the bottom right hand of our screen, we can actually erase the fault codes in the vehicle. Now, we're going to go ahead and do that, and in this particular instance, because we created this check engine light, we're going to erase the faults, and they're not going to come back. But it's important to understand that we created these fault codes